Hi, I'm Tina Forsyth of OnlineBusinessManager.com. Is that's one of my businesses where I train and mentor people to become high-level virtual support professionals to become online business managers and to support everyone who's in the room and everyone who's building their big dream and their big business. And I also am opening a new arm of my business, thanks to Fabienne's loving nudge and kick. Where I'm business coaching and helping entrepreneurs to, get the right systems, the right team, the right mindset around all of that behind the scenes stuff, the business structure, so that their business doesn't suck the life out of them. So you're not doing the iPhone in bed and all that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah. So you're well known in the industry, and
sure.
Yes, you are. You know that.
Okay.
And you've been in business for a long time.
Yeah.
And you're doing well in your business.
Yes.
And when we talked on the phone, when was that?
Back in January.
In January. Wow,
Yeah.
a lot of things happened in January. So back in January, why did you want to talk about joining the Sapphire program?
I felt like, I have a really great business. I love what I'm doing. I love the clients I'm working with, and I feel very strong and passionate about that work. And yet I felt like I was being called for something else. That there's another level, kind of like you
Big
shared
vision,
earlier.
yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
You think you're going to get there and you're done. It's like, no, there's always something else. There's another piece to this. And I was really feeling that. I actually had been feeling that for a number of months. And was basically, I call it like a flushing toilet moment. It was going around and around and around and around and around in my head about it, right? And I knew, when you and I talked, I was very conscious of the fact that, I didn't want to wreck what I had already. I had a really great, all the pieces were there. The business, even income-wise and everything has a really strong foundation. And I wanted to make sure that that was on a solid footing, was part of it, while also being able to do this next thing and take this next step, right? And I know that just because I've been on your list
for a long time.
Yeah. And I hadn't been to any events or bought any programs or any of that kind of stuff. We've just I've known you for a long time. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it just kind of I don't know, I was being
It was time.
drawn.
Right? You were being drawn.
I was lurking.
There was that nagging,
haunting.
what's next? Yeah.
Yeah.
And
very much so.
And so what do you experience in the Sapphire program?
It's been great. It's my way to get out of my own head and really get, advice that counts, advice and the kick in the butt and all of that to really get out of my own way. I'm pretty conscious of where I'll stop myself now. And at the same time, I know, and I want to learn from and be a part of something, to learn from someone and to be able to model myself, if you will, and go the same path that you've gone. It's really important to me to be able to see someone and think, oh, they have what I want to have. I think you were actually talking earlier a little bit about the jealousy or some of that. I had some of that.
Yeah.
And I think over the past year or so, it's kind of ooh, I want what she has, kind of thing. And that was part of what I think started to really draw me to officially working with you, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And so you were doing well in your business.
Yeah.
And and how are you doing now? What are we halfway through or a third of the way through our program?
About a half. Yeah,
about
I think
half. So we got a lot more to go. But what have you been? What'd you do?
Well, my programs, I run a certification and training for people to become online business managers, and that program has done well. Within the program itself was kind of filling, I'd say, at 75%. And then when you and I started working together, I remember that was the very first thing. You're like, okay, we got to fill that program. What do you need?
Right, because one of the things that that we focus on in our coaching in the Winners Academy is to make back your investment within a month, 2 months, 3 months. So right away, we want that to come back in. So we focus on the money on the table. What's not, what can be immediately done, right? Christine, we did that. Everyone, right? That's what the focus is on. And so looking at where the gaps are, we make that money, and then you get the rest of the free coaching. Yeah. Free coaching!
Woo!
And for you! So we filled those programs right away.
Yeah, I had a program in February that we filled. Another program actually that's next week. I do this training twice a year. That's one, as of this morning, was one person from being full, and it might be as of now.
Yeah.
But that will be full as well. And income-wise, at the $250,000 mark, like
Yes.
right, I don't know the exact number, but it's
It's
there.
kind of nice,
which
right?
is weird
$250,000.
to say. Yeah. And I never thought.
You never thought?
There's no way in hell I thought I'd be doing that, honestly. Like, even to be there. And then yet there's this other piece of me that's like, ooh, you still got more to go, you know? Like, being called for all of that. And
well, that's,
really,
when we first spoke in January, I said, is it okay if I said what I said?
Yeah.
I think you're playing too small.
yeah.
Yeah. I think there's a lot. You are brilliant. You are an expert at what you do, and we put you on the Fabienne stretcher even in that initial conversation, and you. That's what it's called, the Fabienne stretcher.
Technical term.
And, no, not that kind of stretcher. The stretch kind. And so you're opening up this new division. And what did I say to you on our last phone call?
It was actually through email. Because
Oh, it was through email,
Yeah, there was
you're right.
one thing through email, because we had emailed a bit back and forth, and you had said, "You're one of us." And I
Right,
was like,
because Tina's looking at me and other very successful people who do business coaching, and just talk about the mindset for a split second. Yeah. Tina didn't see herself there yet, and just in one email, she started seeing herself as, oh, I can be a successful business coach with a multi-million-dollar business.
Yeah.
She wouldn't have had that before.
No, I mean, I've always been the behind-the-scenes person.
Yeah.
Like, I went to school, got a business degree, and took the first job that came along and was an accounts payable clerk working in a little cubicle doing data entry. Then I was like a secretary or whatever and so on. And even for a lot of my business to date I've been the behind-the-scenes person. I loved supporting other people to do their big things.
Yeah.
And continue to train people to do that and to be that role as well, because it's so important to have that person in your business. But it's like, oh, I got to step out from behind the curtain.
Yeah.
That's the big step right now.
Yeah, and in doing this, you'll likely double your business. That's my intention for you. It's kind of, you'd be on track. How was your day? Where's Dan? Dan. So in Sapphire, you get a half-day retreat and 15 hours of coaching on the phone with me or Derek, and we Skyped you in, Dan. That was cool, right? We Skyped him in from Canada for our half-day session. How was the half-day with you and Tiffany and Dan? What made a difference? What did we do, and how have you translated that?
It really gave me a foundation for what I mentioned earlier, to really make sure that I was taking care of my business as it is now, and to not be, I guess a wingnut about it, to not be like, oh, I could do this now, bye.
Yeah. She didn't want to throw out the baby with the bathwater. She already has a successful 6-figure business, but she's interested in doing something else. But why leave that income on the table when you can, I've heard this expression once, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, just get a babysitter.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
No, it felt like, it's kind of like my business is growing up.
Yeah.
In a sense, and I'm growing up with it in that way. But yeah, very much so.
Yeah. So there are people who are in the same position as you were just a few months ago. Why is Sapphire a good investment for you?
I think, especially when you are called to do something else, because that really has been a big part of my journey. It's sort of like, whether I like it or not, I'm getting called to go here, or I'm getting called to go there. And I find that, it's actually a disservice to the people that we're meant to serve, to the people who really want and need our help in whatever way, shape, or form, if we let ourselves stay stuck. I have to remind myself of that on a pretty regular basis with everything I do, is like, if I'm feeling boo-hoo or, fearful or eek about something, it's kind of like, wait a minute, this isn't about me. I get to be in this and play a role in it, but I have to also remember, like, who's out there that wants and needs what I have to offer.
Exactly.
And it's a disservice if I'm not willing to keep growing myself and moving forward and expanding that reach, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give her a big hand, everybody.